Rays finish their 6-game road trip in style, sweeping the Citrus Series and winning 4 straight overall. Tonight, it's more exciting interleague action. David Wright leads the New York Mets into Tropicana Field to face right-hander Alex Cobb and the Rays. Catch all the action on Sun Sports. Following yesterday's off day, the Rays jump right back into interleague play. Tonight at Tropicana Field, the Rays will play host to the National League's New York Mets. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Stats. So good to have you with us. We'll be hearing from Todd Callis in just a few moments while the Rays prepare to meet this New York Mets ball club. The Rays have won 4 in a row. They're hitting .296 as a team, and they've outscored the opposition by a count of 29-10 in that stretch. And a big part of that was that 3-game sweep in Miami.
Absolutely. The little foreshadowing in that last game in New York where they put up 7 runs on 10 hits, because that's about what they averaged in Miami. They went down there and they did what good teams do. You ran into a Marlins pitching staff. They can run some good pitchers out there, but they were struggling with their command, and the Rays hitters took advantage of it. They didn't let them off the hook. They fed off of each other. You talk about hitting's contagious. They continued to get mistakes, and they took advantage. And you see right there the final numbers. And for a ballpark that didn't lend itself to too many power numbers, they flexed their muscles there with the 5 home runs.
Matt Joyce, a couple home runs in that series in Miami. He leads the team in that department. And it was his home run Sunday, a leadoff homer in the 4th, that propelled the Rays to a 3-run inning. Tonight's starting pitching presented by your local Southern Ford dealer, Chris Young, 6'10" right-hander on the mound for New York, and Alex Cobb will do the pitching for the Rays. Well, it's not every day you get to see the New York Mets. In fact, it's been a long time ago since these two teams got together. Todd Callis will help us meet the Mets after this.
as the Rays get ready for the first of a 3-game series. Terry Collins, Joe Madden go back to their Angels days, and Collins, of course, now the manager of the Mets, and he loves writing in David Wright's name to the lineup, mostly in the 3 spot, occasionally in the 4 spot. And all year long, Wright has just been hitting everything he sees, getting on base. Only Joey Votto has a higher on-base percentage in the big leagues than David Wright. 354 with those 8 home runs and 34 runs batted in. The Rays fans don't get a chance to see the Mets very often, but they hope not to see too much of that, Wright trotting around the bases. But here are some of their key players. Wright, 3rd in the National League in batting average. Lucas Duda leads them in home runs and RBIs. Wright has 34 runs batted in and 8 home runs. R.A. Dickey, what a year. 9 wins and a 2.40 ERA. And Frankie Francisco has 15 saves for the Mets. We caught up with Joe Madden, who doesn't know a whole lot about this team from Queens.
I don't know these guys. That's when you go into the interleague stuff. That's the uncomfortable part. I know they play hard. I know offensively they're not the best offensive team, but that still scares me when a team plays hard. When a team plays hard, they could overcome a lot of deficits they may have. They pitch well. We're seeing 3 good starters. Their bullpen is good. They pitch well. They pitch well, and they play hard. Dangerous combination.
Perhaps he needs a refresher course. That's what we're ready for. Baseball. The Mets and the Rays. 2.5 minutes to go till the first pitch. Happy birthday, Hideki Matsui. As we'll have all the Rays action right around the corner on Sun with Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson. Enjoy the first of 3 with the New York Mets coming up next.
Visit your local Toyota dealer today for great deals on the amazing lineup of Toyota vehicles. Toyota, moving forward. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By Subway Restaurants, play hard, eat fresh. And by Nissan, get to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation you can count on. Innovation for all. Terry Collins, the skipper of this New York Mets ball club. He has the Mets 3 games over 500 at 32 and 29. And here is the lineup for New York. Leading off in center field, Kirk Neumanheis. Jordani Valdespin is the DH. David Wright hits third, plays third. Lucas Duda's in right field. Daniel Murphy at second. Ike Davis at first. It'll be Jason Bay in left hitting 7th. Josh Tolle will do the catching. And Omar Quintanilla is the shortstop. And he will hit 9th.
That New York Met lineup will face right-hander Alex Cobb. Will be making his 5th start of the season for the Rays. An even up 2-2 record. ERA just over 4. Coming off a loss his last start in New York against the Yankees. Actually threw the ball very well. Had just given up 2 runs through 7 innings. Got dinged up for a couple more in the 8th and pitched opposite Ivan Nova that night, who threw the ball very, very well. Alex Cobb's going to come at you with that fastball, moving around the zone, the split finger, and the curveball.
And we are all set to play ball. Neuenhuis in the batter's box from the left side in the first pitch of this game. Presented by Pinch a Penny, and that's a fastball in there for a strike around the knees. So we're underway. Great to have you with us. Cut and a miss. Fastball by him that time. He was quick with that delivery. 0-2.
Well, Alex Cobb, he's the kind of pitcher, get a lot of ground balls. He's going to establish the inside part of the plate. He elevated that, was able to get it over the bat of Neuenhuis.
Ground ball shot right back through the middle and a base hit into center. Got ahead with the fastball. The 0-2 change sent right back into center field.
Well, let's take a quick look at the Rays defense as it lines up in the outfield, left to right. Desmond Jennings, B.J. Upton, and Matt Joyce across the infield, third to first. Will Rhymes, Elliot Johnson, Sean Rodriguez, and Carlos Pena. Jose Molina will be behind the plate. Tonight's Ray defense brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarkets, home of the new Sweet Spot Burgers.
Here's Jordani Valdespin. He's the DH. The pitch is a strike, snap throw to first, and the runner's back in. Jose Molina. Molina came into this season among the top 4 active in caught stealings and pickoffs. His brother, Yadier Molina, is also on that list. And a move to first base by Cobb. The runner back in.
Well, 4 steals for Neuenhuis. This team does not run that much when you look at it from a team standpoint. Fewest stolen bases in the National League.
And a one-hopper to second, grabbed by Rodriguez. Johnson won. First base not in time. Close play at first. They get Neuenhuis on the force. And Valdespin safely aboard.
Well, Valdespin was getting down the line, but the timing of this play was off by how hard the ball was hit. To Sean Rodriguez in a hurry, and he immediately goes for the shuffle. It ends up a little bit low. Elliot Johnson then has to grab that ball, make sure he hits second base. Watch him reach back for the tap there and then throw. And that little timing issue, Ray's not able to turn it.
And here is David Wright, the 3rd leading hitter in the National League at .354. Runner takes off, a swing and a foul ball. Or did he swing and miss? I think it's a swing and a miss.
Yeah, that ball was down in the zone, and Jose Molina on the transfer, trying to be quick with the ball from the glove to the hand, just never is able to come up with it cleanly, and no throw.
So it's a stolen base now for Valdespin, his 2nd in as many attempts. So the Mets, who do not run a lot, and when they do, their percentage has not been all that successful either. Ground ball to short, and it's Bobble gets away from Johnson. Valdespin is going to score, and New York takes a 1-0 lead on the error. David Wright reaches on the error. The run comes home all the way from second base on the 7th error of the year, charged to Elliot Johnson.
Now, after a pretty clean series against the Marlins, you do not want to see this animal start to come back. This was a routine ground ball by David Wright. Valdespin heading to third. Elliott Johnson in fine position, and that ball just gets over the glove between the hand.
Yeah, it went from bad to worse. Not only does it allow Wright to reach, but Valdespin scores from second. Now the runner goes in the pitch, and that's going to skip into center field, backed up by Upton. But the runner, David Wright, will go all the way to third, and the New York Mets are taking it to the Rays, forcing the issue here early.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, the New York Mets coming in had the fewest stolen bases in the National League. Only two teams had less, the Orioles and the Red Sox. They were 27 out of 42. But here, running early, they take advantage of the air on the ground ball, and then this ball into center field allows David Wright to pop up and get over to third. So they are coming in, sending a message to the Rays here in the early going.
But 2 stolen bases and 2 errors here in the top of the first.
I think a lot of these stolen bases coming off of Alex Cobb, who gave up 11 stolen bases last year in 11 attempts in 52 innings. Teams were 4 for 4 this year.
Ground ball to first. Pena has this one. Steps on the bag with the infield end. Duda hits the ball on the ground to Carlos Pena for the out.
Well, Alex Cobb taking advantage of the aggressiveness of Duda. He's got a lot of power, so he drops that first pitch, little split changeup. Gets an easy rollover ground ball.
2 gone with Wright at first base. And here's Daniel Murphy. Pitch is a strike. And I'll tell you, if the Mets decide to run, we could have a track meet here tonight, because Chris Young, the starter for the Mets, who's 6'10", does not have a weapon to stop the running game against him. There's a strike.
Now, he's been injured a lot the last couple of years, but when you go back to the years where he would make 30-plus starts, he had a year that teams were 44 for 44 in stolen bases.
Yeah, it just got to be ridiculous. Murphy out on a changeup. So the damage limited to just the 1 run. Tropicana Field tonight, bottom of the first, finds Desmond Jennings leading off, then Carlos Pena and B.J. Upton. Matt Joyce, Hideki Matsui, who's celebrating his 38th birthday, is the DH. Will Rhymes will play third. Jose Molina, Elliott Johnson, and Sean Rodriguez completing the lineup for the Rays.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the New York Mets, right-hander Chris Young. You see his only start of the season came at Washington against the Nationals. First start in over a year.
And the first pitch is a strike call to Desmond Jennings. I don't think he's lost a game in the major league since 2009, but he's been hurt a lot. And a high fly ball, not too deep toward left center, and it's going to be caught by NYN, the center fielder.
Well, let's take a look at that Mets defense. Not used to playing in this building. In the outfield, left to right, Jason Bay, Kurt NYN, and Lucas Duda. Across the infield, third to first, David Wright, Omar Quintanilla, Daniel Murphy, and Ike Davis. Josh Tolle will be behind the plate. Tonight's Met defense brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarket, home of the new Sweet Spot Burgers.
Now Carlos Pena. The shift is on for Carlos. The pitch is high. 1 ball, no strikes. Rays have won 4 in a row. They're 10 over 500, sharing first in the American League East with the New York Yankees, playing the New York Mets here tonight. Saw Luke Scott there a moment ago, just to Joe Maddon's left, near the manager and near the bat rack. There's a strike. It's 1-2. Joe said earlier he was playing Matsui over Scott today because it's Matsui's birthday.
Did not want to have an international incident.
Would be dishonorable.
Yeah, well,
if he didn't play on his birthday. There was a cake waiting for Matsui downstairs when everybody got to the ballpark.
Anybody jump out?
This pitch into the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, we didn't witness that. But if he has a big night at the plate, there could be bubbly after the game. You never know how the Rays are going to celebrate in the clubhouse. This pitch is down. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three-2 on its way to Carlos. And he walks. It's going to bring up B.J. Upton as we look at our interleague hit streaks here on our Toyota Trend. The longest active interleague hit streaks, and right there's B.J. Upton showing up, tied for 4th.
I mean, who thought you could get that much pertinent information in one graphic?
A lot of hits on the screen right there.
A lot to glean.
1 strike to count to Upton. He took a look at that fastball, and yes, it's 83. Young's fastball, 83, 84. And there's a strike. 0-2. He will drop a slider in there occasionally in the low 70s. But his fastball tops out in the mid 80s.
And it almost starts to go below hitting speed. You know, most big league, hitters 88 to 90, you get into that range, and that's pretty comfortable for them. You start to get down in that 82, 83, 84 range, almost hard time staying back on it. Could be an adjustment period.
And the pitch is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But you can see over the course of the last few years, he hasn't lost since 09. But he was in 4 games in 10, 4 games in 11, and this is his 2nd game this year. 2-2. He had shoulder issues that kept him out of action last year. Ground ball behind the bag at third. Backhanded it's stopped by Wright, and the throw's not going to be in time. That was a great stop by Wright down there in third. BJ's aboard with a base hit.
Well, David Wright had no chance to get BJ Upton. This play was about keeping this ball out of the corner and keeping extra bases. Once you leave your feet, BJ too much speed, he's going to beat that every time. But you do keep that ball from getting down into the corner, and at very minimum, you'd have runners at second and third, and who knows, Carlos may have had a chance to score.
Well, we don't get a chance to see David Wright play much, and he's had some issues, as you know. Back problems, he had stress fracture. He's had a number of issues, including when he was hit in the head by a pitch 2 or 3 years ago. But they say he is playing as good a third base as he's ever played in his career. He already has a Gold Glove. They say he is just playing a great third base right now.
He's got all the facets of the game working, offensively, defensively. He'll run a little bit.
A ball, no strikes, the count to Matt Joyce, and there's a long one, but it's pulled foul and well out of play. So the count goes to 1-1 to Matt. That home run we referenced in the open Sunday. He led off the inning with a home run. His 11th of the year, and the Rays went on to score 2 more when Elliott Johnson hit a 2-run shot. And a bouncer foul.
What you see right here already, Matt Joyce, you're talking about throwing under hitting speed, how hard it is to stay back, way out in front, and hooks one, I mean, beyond foul. And then even that curveball there, you could see how he, recognized that pitch, but just could not stay back long enough and hooks that one foul.
And another bounding ball foul. These are in the low to mid 70s.
Yeah,
and he'll pitch up with that fastball too at 84. Get a lot of pop-ups and fly balls.
Well, and he's got the 6'10". He's got an interesting look. For these hitters, they don't face pitchers that tall very often. A different speed, different arm angle.
Into the dirt, blocked by Tolley. 2 balls, 2 strikes. New York scored a run in the first, an unearned run, and that was it, despite 2 errors charged to the Rays. And the pitch is wide, and the count is full. "3-2. And he fouls it back. That was a mid-90s or mid-80s fastball, 85, and that's about as hard as it gets in the velocity department. Young, 33 years old. And a line drive, there's a base hit. Pena's going to have to stop at third base. Uda's throw 1 hops in, and the bases are loaded.
Now, that's going to be the key for the Rays lineup tonight, is to be disciplined enough to stay back on all of the pitches from Chris Young. And after seeing a handful, it's exactly what happens here. Matt Joyce able to stay back just enough and get that curveball on the outer half and rope it into right field. Pena everything that he could do, but Tom Foley holds him up. The ball got out to Duda pretty quickly.
Well, here's Hideki Matsui now. Well, Matsui will be ready on the first pitch. We've already seen that. Both his home runs have come on the first pitch of those 2 particular at-bats. And he swings and shoots it into right. Duda back. That's going to be over his head and off the wall. Pena scores. Up Upton to third, and he's going to stop there. A liner over the head of Duda and right and off the wall, and the Rays get one as Upton stops at third.
Well, Hideki Matsui, he likes the ball up in the zone. He got one up in the zone and drills his ball to right field, and why the Rays only scored one run. Look at him attack that ball, that level swing with power. Stays right on top of it. That is right in his wheelhouse. Over the head of Duda, and that cleared him by plenty. That Rays should have actually at least scored 2 runs on that. Let's take a look at the runners and what they do. Carlos, of course, he's going to go back and tag, but that's exactly what BJ did. BJ didn't, and that's all he did when he went back to second base there to tag up. Cost himself an opportunity to throw on the ball over the head.
Well, Will Rhymes' pitch to him is down. So the Rays get the run back. Upton at third, Joyce at second, Matsui at first. Rhymes fouls it. It's 1-1. Yeah, when the ball left the bat on the line drive by Matsui, you anticipated 2 runs scoring easily and maybe first and third.
Or even second and third, because Matsui took that round at first, fully expecting to go to second. Was surprised to look up and see Matt Joyce.
Now Rhymes sends a fly ball toward right center. Neuenhuis, the center fielder, has it. The throw's going to be cut off in the direction of third. The run scores as Upton crosses the plate, and the Rays take a 2-1 lead. So Rhymes delivers a sacrifice fly to get that run home. Two outs. Now Molina. Molina back into straightaway center. Neuenhuis is back in front of the track to make the catch. That retires the side. 2-run score through 1, 2-1 Tampa Bay.
Rays lead at 2-1 heading into the second inning. Tonight's game is available in Espanol via SAP, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida.
Well, an unearned run scored by New York off Alex Cobb in the first. Cobb made 12 pitches in that first inning, all of them for strikes. Gave up a base hit to Neuenhuis, the leadoff hitter. And the Rays committed a couple of errors, a couple steals, as the Mets came out very aggressive. And Ike Davis will open the second inning. Davis hitting 167 right now. And he takes a big cut and misses the fastball, strike one. And now the Rays, with a 1-strike count, send Rhymes from third base to the right side as they put the shift on. It's too low.
Now that's breaking down some information. Not only does he hit the majority of the ground balls to the right side, but even more so after a strike. That's doing your homework.
That's really playing the count. There's a bunt. Cobb quickly off, tries to barehand it, and cannot pick it up to make a play. And Davis will get a bunt single out of that against the shift.
Well, a very nice bunt there by Ike Davis. Well placed. That would have been a tough play for Alex Cobb. He was able to go down and get that low pitch, keep it fair, get it onto the grass, and just deaden it. Yeah, I don't think Alex Cobb has him either way.
And here is Jason Bay. That pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes. Takes it up 2-0. Mets come in. They've lost 3 in a row and 6 of their last 7. When you look at their overall numbers, they've actually done pretty well offensively. They are 6th in the National League out of 16 teams in runs scored. And they do manage to get a few base runners. High fly ball lifted toward left center. Jennings is there waiting, and he's got it. 1 on with 1 out now. For all the latest updates on your Tampa Bay Rays, log on to TampaBay.com. From the diamond to the clubhouse, we bring you the in-depth news, stories, and scores 24 hours a day. Only at TampaBay.com, powered by the Tampa Bay Times. Mets tied with Miami. Tied for third, 5 back of Washington. Atlanta running second, 3 out. Pitch to Josh Tolle is a strike. Braves are playing host to the Yankees. And in the top of the second inning, New York hitting with Atlanta leading 3-0 already. Base hit, headed the other way. Through the hole on the left side. Davis stops at second. Tolle is aboard with a single.
Well, that's the scouting report on Tolle. He's a guy, he's a contact guy. Not a ton of power, but he'll hit the ball all over the place. And he does a nice job here on this split, staying back. Look at him. Just let that ball get to him. Slap it the other way. Big opening for him over there, and takes full advantage.
2 on, 1 out for the shortstop, Omar Quintanilla. He's had 35 at bats now for the Mets and hitting .314. 1 strike to count. And time call. Anthony is stepping out. He's 30 years old, out of El Paso. The Mets have had trouble keeping shortstops healthy this year. There's a strike on the inside corner. Quintanilla about 4 deep for them now. They started with Ruben Tejada, the 22-year-old out of Panama, thinking that he would be the successor to Jose Reyes, and he played well but had a quad injury, and that's kept him out for weeks now. They thought it would be just a few days. Ground ball right side for Rodriguez to Johnson. 1, first base 2, 4-6-3 on the double play, and that retires the side. Well, a couple of base hits, including a bunt single, a man left. Rays lead 2-1.
Lead heading to the bottom of the second. They discussed things before the game in terms of a lineup change. Originally, Joe and Davey had Ben Zobrist in the lineup. But guys, he was a late scratch because that right hand, he stole this base against the Marlins Sunday afternoon. That right hand was hit by the throw. Still got up to move over to third, and then hit a bolt to right field his last AB. But it just kind of hurt him a little bit today. A sore right hand, that throwing hand. So the Rays did not want to take any chances and scratched Zobrist from the lineup. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much. So the Rays will keep an eye on Ben Zobrist. A bunt attempt by Elliott Johnson. He bunts it foul. The count is 2 strikes. Well, Zobrist had just started to hit the ball solidly, coming off a great series against the Marlins. And despite the fact that it had been a challenge for him finding that hitting stroke, he said that's one of the reasons he loves the game. It is a challenge. It's not easy to play. Now the 0-2 to Elliott Johnson. The pitch is outside. Now it's 1-2.
Isn't that what manager Jimmy Dugan said in a league of their own?
That's exactly right.
That's right. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
And that there's no crying.
Yes, he did say that too.
Elliott Johnson chased the pitch up, and he is out on strikes.
Well, there's that example that you were talking about, Dwayne. Chris Young not afraid to take that low to mid-80s fastball and elevate. But here's the deal. When you go up over the strike zone, these hitters, they know that fastball's not overpowering, so they see it up close to their eyes. You see a lot of guys swinging balls up anyway, but when it's a pitch they feel like they can handle because of the velocity, they'll go up even further.
Here's Sean Rodriguez taking a strike. I thought Cliff Floyd said something on the postgame the other day about Zobrist that made a lot of sense. Because he was here in 08, and he said he observed Zobrist. He said when he was going good, he worked hard. He says when he was going bad, he worked hard. And very succinct right there on the part of Cliff Floyd, to the point. And I think one of the better assessments we've heard all year. There's a fly ball into right center field, and that's going to drop. Rodriguez on his way to second, had some hang time, and with that hang time you anticipate that ball being caught by either the center fielder Neuenhuis or Duda, and they both seem to pull up on it.
Well, yeah, it's a fly ball right here. The roof at Tropicana Field claims a couple more victims. This ball's got to be caught.
Sean Rodriguez taking nothing for granted as he puts it into gear around the bag and heads into second. The Rays have another man in scoring position now. Here's Desmond Jennings. Nothing doing, back, a turn, and a fake on the move. One ball, no strikes. Double by Rodriguez that fell in between the two New York outfielders. Jennings sends a fly ball into left. Jason Bay is there to make the catch on this one. You know, I wonder on that ball hit by Rodriguez, sometimes you see fielders lose the ball against the roof, against the backdrop of the roof. I wonder if they picked the ball up initially, because they didn't seem to get a great jump on the ball, and they got out there toward right center field and sort of just gave up on the whole enterprise.
I mean, Duda almost backed up like he was expecting help there from Neuenhuis to make that catch. Yeah, I don't know. That was definitely strange, and bottom line was that's a fly ball at this level, actually at any level. That ball's got to be caught.
Carlos Pena hits one a ton, but it's well foul. Hits it into the lights adjacent to the C ring. One strike to count to Carlos. He walked and scored the first run of the game for the Rays in the bottom of the first. Nothing doing again back there at second base. One and one. Mets have Quintanilla, the shortstop, directly behind second base, and now he's scooted over a few steps to the first base side now. And a Quick cut and a miss. It's 1-2. Tomorrow, by the way, is the Rays broadcast auction. Rays have done that now for 5 seasons. This will be the 6th. And you'll get a chance to bid on hitting lessons with Carlos Pena. Well, that should be a highly sought after element of the auction. Spend some time with Carlos Pena. Pitch is high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Proceeds will benefit the Rays Baseball Foundation and Tampa General Hospital's Children's Medical Center. That's tomorrow night when the Rays and the Mets square off. Two balls, 2 strikes. And he fouls it. That one at 86 from Chris Young. On deck, B.J. Upton hoping to get a chance to swing the bat here in the 2nd inning. And we go to 3-2.
Well, Carlos Pena continues to work good at bats. You see right there, the pitch is seen. So the next one will be the 13th. It's not chased yet.
And a cut and a miss. He's out on strikes. So the Rays get a double, leave a man, and lead 2-1 through 2. Experience a Rays game from the all-inclusive Hancock Bank Club, offering extraordinary seating and luxurious lounge and dining areas. The Hancock Bank Club features upscale menus and inclusive drink options. Call for tickets and more information, 888-FAN-RAYS, or visit RaysBaseball.com. Alex Cobb, 24-year-old right-hander on the hill. It's Kirk Neuwenhuis leading off. Cobb starts him with a strike.
Now here in the early going, we've seen home plate umpire Paul Schreiber not afraid to call strikes, forcing these hitters to come up there ready to hit and swing the bat. away and in.
It's a little tap right side. Cobb's going to field it and run it in himself. Neuenhuis out of there. One unassisted.
Well, that's the right play there by Alex Cobb. You break off the mound like that to field a chopper. There's no reason to risk anything with an exchange, a shuffle, a throw. Your momentum's already headed hard to first base. Just field the ball and continue on. And that's Will Rhymes coming in to give Alex Cobb a little bit of a breather because of that run before he makes his next pitch.
Yeah, and Will Rhymes knows all about running. He was the messenger between the dugout and the bullpen over in Miami when the phones wouldn't work. And he was hustling out there and back, letting them know which pitchers to get up and carrying secret missives. One strike to count. There's a swing, a little foul ball. Valdespin reached on the fielder's choice and scored a run in the first. Well, Cobb, who made 12 pitches, all strikes in the first, has continued that trend throughout the evening. Look at that breakout. 24 out of 27 strikes to non-strikes, and 10 of the 11 hitters he's faced, first pitch strikes. It's fouled out of play.
And what's been impressive is that it's been with all three pitches and to both sides of the plate. We've seen him take that fastball down and away. We've seen him come in with that fastball and be very effective with it. The split, curveball.
Valdespin, the DH tonight, a shortstop by trade. He's only 24 years old. That's inside. The Mets trying to refine some of those infielders' skills in him. He has some pop in his bat, speed. The 1-2. That evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Out of San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. And for a time, a few years ago, it seemed as if every young shortstop who came to the major leagues was from San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican. And to left, Jennings is right there and makes the catch. 2 gone. And that's going to get David Wright, the third baseman, to the plate.
Well, let's take a look at our scouting report on David Wright, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida, a franchise player. New York Mets, came up at such a young age, 21 years old. Career numbers, he's got a career .302 average, averages 27 home runs, 106 RBIs a year, and highly decorated. This is a 5-time All-Star, couple of Gold Gloves, couple of Silver Sluggers. He's the epitome of New York Met baseball right now.
And the pitch is down. 1 ball and no strikes. The pitch is a strike, and now it's 1-1. One and 2. Well, they moved into their new park, and it does not bode well for hitters there, particularly power hitters, but they've tried to make it cozier. Ground ball toward the middle, and right there's Sean Rodriguez. Another ground ball. 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 2-1 Rays.
Out here, a group from Camp Hopataki, and telling us more about that, Molly Morris. She's a clinician and outreach coordinator for TGH Regional Burn Center. Molly, tell us about this special group.
Well, first of all, we're really glad to be here. Camp Hopataki is a week-long summer camp for children who have survived a burn injury. It's fully funded by the fundraising efforts of Tampa General Hospital Foundation and Tampa Fire and Rescue Local 754.
We have a single by B.J. Upton to lead off the bottom half of the third inning. It's so important because not only do you guys fund it with the firefighters with TGH, but you also serve as counselors, right?
Right. All the counselors here are either firefighters, burn nurses, pediatric nurses, or work at Tampa General or the fire department.
And because of all the fundraising and because of all the efforts, it's all free for the kids, right?
It's all free for the kids. That's right. They're just here to have fun.
They're here to have fun. They're all wearing their Camp Hopataki yellow shirts. You can all wave to the camera. And at this point, we'll send it back to Dwayne and B.A., gentlemen.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. Base hit by Upton, and he draws the throw over there with Matt Joyce at the plate. Matt under this one. And lifts a high fly ball, not too deep to center, and he lost it. Neuenhuis just lost it out there, and by the time he grabbed it, or by the time he grasped it, he could not grab it, and it fell in front of him. Well, I think that's at least the second time he's had trouble locating a fly ball tonight.
We've seen this how many times this year, visiting teams. Right there. I mean, this is as routine as it gets, and you see when the arms go out, Neuenhuis has no idea where that ball is and just plops down in front of him. I mean, you have to lock in on the baseball when it leaves the bat if you play the outfield here at Tropicana Field.
Here's Matsui, and he takes the first pitch this time. It's in there for a strike. Well, the Rays now with men at first and second.
Well, here's the thing. You can come out and take fly balls, come out and take the ball off the bat during batting practice, but so often you're using white baseballs, pearls, for batting practice. These balls are rubbed up. A little bit darker tint to them. The roof here has a little bit darker tint to it. It blends right in.
And the pitch is fouled back and out of play. The circumstances are a little different as well.
Not as...
You can track a fly ball during BP, it's one thing, but the pace is more at your leisure, not so inside the game itself. Oh-2 off the plate in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matsui hit the ball off the right field wall in the first to drive in a run. Rays now with 6 hits. A couple of those have been aided by the outfielder's inability to track the fly ball. There's a pop fly. This one into short center, and Neuenhuis comes on to make the catch. The shortstop, Quintanilla, immediately broke to center, pointing at where the ball was, trying to help his outfielders. And Neuenhuis just did get there.
Now this ball was out in no man's land. You see right here the fly ball off the bat. Quintanilla pointing. Murphy headed out. Neuenhuis coming in. That one, the eyes you see locked on that baseball. He's able to slide and make a nice grab.
It's been an adventure so far for the New York outfielders here to grow accustomed to the roof. Here is Will Rhymes. And a pickoff play at second. Upton back in. Upton with his lead. Pitch is high. 1-0. Rays got 2 in the first. Left a man at second in the second. Now have men at first and second in the third with 1 out. Pitch just missed. 2-0. Jose Molina is on deck. Two and 0. There's a strike at the knees. 2-1. Chris Young making his second start of the year. That's going to even the count at 2-2. Young had surgery. He had a torn anterior capsule in that right shoulder and had surgery near the middle of August last year. Two. It's fouled. Slicing out of play. Two balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. So Rhymes went after the breaking ball high.
Well, Chris Young here, the curveball away, doesn't have the kind of break you'd like on it. That's why Will Rhymes aggressively going out after it. Seen that ball hang a little bit. Still able to miss the bat.
Well, it's up to Jose Molina if the Rays are to cash in on the base hit by Upton and the single by Joyce that Neuenhuis lost in the roof and the underside of the roof here at Tropicana Field. Strike the count to Molina. A 1-1 count. Molina fouls this one away. Spin the ball, 2 strikes.
Well, that curveball way low. Chris Young throwing his normal curveball down in the low 70s. He tries to take a little bit more off of that one at 66. Well, it doesn't matter what range you're in. Continue to change speeds and keep hitters off balance.
Upstairs, and it's 2-2. Well, Molina has been in 32 of now the 61 games the Rays have played, and that's about what they had projected and hoped that he could do if they could get 80 games out of him. Fouls it back, fastball up. Jose Molina has spent his career pretty much in that backup role behind the plate. It's a backup catcher. Has always thrown well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to him. And occasionally he'll show some pop with that bat. He's hit 2 home runs in a spot right here where it takes a 2-out hit to get the runners home. Toley and Young have to get together.
Can't agree on the pitch. Obviously a big spot here. You're down in the ball game. A couple of runners aboard. You got 2 strikes on the hitter. Got to make sure they get on the same page.
Molina fouls that one. Pitch away from him.
He did a nice job of going out there and spoiling that pitch. That fastball was running away. It was down. Need to protect.
And a cut to miss. He struck him out. Fastball at 84. We're through 3, and it's 2-1 Rays. Driver of the number 29 Budweiser Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing throughout the first pitch here of this game tonight. He's the 2007 Daytona 500 champion and will be competing in the upcoming Coke Zero 400 powered by Coca-Cola at Daytona International Speedway. That's coming up Saturday night, July 7th. He's spending the day in the Tampa Bay area promoting the upcoming race. Earlier, he visited the troops at MacDill Air Force Base. And out throwing out the first pitch here at the Trop tonight. Alex Cobb on the hill for the Rays. His pitch count has been good. His strike to non-strike ratio excellent. And Lucas Duda leads it off. Pitch is away. 1 ball, no strikes.
Let's take a look at our Acura inside look. Brought to you by the Bay Area Acura dealers. Since May 30th, Lucas Duda red hot.
Well, he bounces one foul right there.
Into May, into June, 5 home runs. You see the National League ranks right at the top of the heap in all those power categories. One of the guys you got to keep an eye on in this lineup, along with David Wright.
At 292 last year. He's 26 years old. They say 6'4", 255. I think he's a little more imposing than that. Pretty good size outfielder. And he lifts a high fly ball toward left center. Upton has it tracked and makes the grab.
Well, you can see just a little glimpse right there of the power of Duda. That ball was in on him. He was able to get that swing down there. Did not hit the ball that well. Got it on the barrel, but very, very high. And still got that ball out there in deep left center field. Didn't even catch it clean. See the little toe tap. Too high.
Now Murphy fouls one. That's a strike. Murphy, 27 years old, swings through this one. 2 strikes now. Murphy's played first and third and left field. He's playing second base pretty much every day right now. He was born in Jacksonville, Florida. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and one of those guys who just battled for every at bat and every inning he gets to play, and he winds up playing second base every day. Count still 1-2. Foul the other way.
Well, you can see it in this at bat right here. Fouling off pitches close to him, reaching out there, spoiling the split away. Not going to give away at bats. Scrappy little player.
Count goes to 2-2. And a swing and a miss. He's out on strikes. Out in front. Second time he's gone down swinging. And it's time for the night's AT&T trivia question. How many pitchers in the big leagues have at least 8 wins and an earned run average under 2.50? Here's Ike Davis, 25-year-old first baseman. He put down a bunt his first time after getting down on the count 1 strike. The pitch to him is a bit low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, that was a good example there of Jose Molina working for his pitcher. That ball well off the plate, down and away, and the way he catches it. He tries to bring it right up to that knee high on the outside corner. Does a nice job with that stiff wrist on those borderline pitches.
Count right now 1-1. Rays have the shift on now for Davis. 2 balls and a strike. Davis had an ankle injury last year when he collided with David Wright chasing a popper. 3 balls and a strike. And that was an ankle injury that took a long time. Took him out. Limited him to just 129 or 30 at bats last year. Cut the miss. He did hit over 300. Hit 7 home runs in 129 at bats. And comes into this game hitting 167, just barely over 100 at home. 3-2, and he takes a big cut and fouls that one. 2 outs, bases empty. And strike 3 call. Davis caught looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Murphy and Davis for Cobb. And we go to the bottom half of the 4th. 2-1 Rays. Tonight's trivia question brought to you by AT&T. How many pitchers in the big leagues have at least 8 wins and an earned on average under 2.50? How about 4? Starting with David Price and R.A. Dickey, Gio Gonzalez and Chris Sale. R.A. Dickey at 9-1 for the Mets. Elliott Johnson takes the first pitch from Chris Young, and that's a strike.
I get to see David Price every 5 days. The Rays got an up-close and personal look at Chris Sale and what he is capable of doing with the 15 strikeout performance here at Tropicana Field. And
the next road trip will be headed into Washington for more exciting interleague baseball. 1 ball, 1 strike the count here to Elliott Johnson. Foul the other way. It's 1-2. Looking forward to seeing that Washington club. Boy, they have put together a great ball club over there. It's been a good year for them. Good young players. And right now, Washington with a 3-game lead on Atlanta. 5 up on Miami and New York, and 8.5 up on Philadelphia. They have a 3-0 lead tonight in Toronto with the Blue Jays batting in the bottom of the 4th. So Popper, foul ball, and Wright is there to catch it. One away.
Well, after the trivia, a little bit of foreshadowing there. Let's take a look at tomorrow night's starting pitching matchup presented by Chevron. And it is going to involve 2 of the 4. David Price goes for the Rays, making his 13th. R.A. Dickey.
Yep.
Numbers outstanding across the board for both pitchers. R.A. Dickey.
He features that knuckleball.
Yep.
One strike to count to Sean Rodriguez. A little foul ball back. 0-2. Hot shot, line drive, base hit into center field for Sean Rodriguez. Sean is on for the 2nd straight time. You know, that's interesting, that matchup tomorrow. David Price and R.A. Dickey. And what else is interesting about that is I think Strasburg is pitching tomorrow for Washington. That could put us on track for a Price-Strasburg matchup when the Rays are in Washington. Starting to stop by Sean Rodriguez. And the pitch taken for a ball.
And how about this? The contrast in styles. You're going to get David Price power tomorrow night against R.A. Dickey knuckleball. If you do get a Price-Strasburg matchup, the top 2 fastball throwers in Major League Baseball as far as average velocity goes on that pitch.
Sean back in at first. Well, that's apparently a very good possibility. It's not confirmed, of course, but they're on a path to do that. The Rays have the Mets in here and then the Marlins over the weekend. And then that next road trip will take them to Washington, Philly, and Kansas City, with the first stop against the Nationals starting Tuesday night, the 19th. Desmond hits a high fly ball to left. Bay is there to make the catch on it. And Rodriguez tags but decides to hang on at first. What we've seen so far tonight in the first 4 innings of this, that fastball about 84, but they continue to stay under it and hit a lot of high pop-ups and high fly balls. And you'd have to think that the fact that he's 6'10" and the angle that he delivers that pitch, and he doesn't show the hitters the pitch that soon either. Does a pretty good job of concealing it.
He does. He's got deception. He's got the height. That fastball, when he is throwing it up in the zone, it's right at that borderline where it's just a little bit too high to get on top of. Guys are hitting it. You're either chasing it up above the zone or hitting the pop-up. He's doing just enough. Make pitches when he needs to.
Carlos Pena fouling one away, strike one. It's still just a 2-1 game.
Well, right, and it feels like it could be a whole lot worse than that. You know, you go back to the ball over the head of Duda out in right field with the bases loaded. You had a chance to score maybe more than the Rays did, and then some opportunities in the 2nd inning, 3rd inning.
I'll guarantee you see Rodney throwing that softball down there. There's not one hitter in the big leagues or in the known world that would think any pitch he throws looks that big. Foul ball driven up the right side, out of play.
No, not when it's traveling at that velocity. It looks like a little saccharin tablet. They wish it was that big and yellow. Sort of the Met outfielders.
Yeah, the Met outfielders would love to be playing with a baseball that color. Two strikes to count to Carlos. He tried to wait on that one. And that might have been the slowest one he's delivered all night. The gun had it at 68 miles per hour with a little break on it.
Yeah, we saw another one of those slow ones last inning to Jose Molina. He's starting to change speeds on that breaking ball, just trying to give himself another weapon to get out these Rays hitters.
The Rays have not done any running, and as we referenced earlier, there have been some years when the opposition has just taken a base at will. In 09, 30 steals without a caught stealing against him. In 07, 44 stolen bases without a caught stealing against him. 44.
That's amazing. I mean, the career numbers are amazing.
Yeah.
You look at the career numbers, it's 144 out of 158. I mean, that is pass the baton and get to going.
A little tap foul. And the other thing about this, it's a combination. The Mets weren't sure that Tolley was going to be an everyday catcher, and he's really not known to have a great arm either. So you've got a great combination here that you'd figure the Rays, who are second in the American League in stolen bases, at any opportunity would take advantage of. Upstairs.
Well, because when Chris Young was putting up those totals, or he actually wasn't putting up but allowing them, the stolen base obviously wasn't working with Tolley at that point. So he's, you can swipe a bag just off of him. You combine him with a catcher that's not known for quick release and a big arm, and you wonder why the Rays haven't taken advantage.
A little tap foul. This one at 66 miles per hour on the curveball. Move to first. Rodriguez back in.
Now, the one thing that Chris Young does, especially when the Rays were able to get base runners so far in this game, which is just about every inning, is he lets the air out of the ball. Really slows the pace down.
Rodriguez goes and stops, and the pitch is popped up.
Could be a double.
Left side, and that's right under the ball, backing up, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Rays leave a man. They've stranded 6 through 4 and lead 2-1.
A 2-1 advantage over the New York Mets.
Here at Tropicana Field, our game moves into the 5th. 2-1, the Rays lead. Scored 2 runs in the first. The Mets got an unearned run in the first off Cobb. Alex has made 53 pitches. Young at 80 pitches through 4. And Jason Bay will open the 5th. First pitch is fouled straight back for a strike. Bay now 33 years old. He's behind in the count 0-2. Tapper foul. Baltimore leading Pittsburgh 3-1. Mark Reynolds has hit a home run in that game for the Orioles. Boston and Miami, no score in the bottom of the 6th. Washington continues to lead Toronto 3-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning at Toronto. And they're in the bottom of the 5th in Atlanta. The Braves lead the Yankees 3-0. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bay chases that one. Change up in the dirt, and he's thrown out at first. Molina to Pena on the putout. 3 consecutive strikeouts now recorded by Alex Cobb. And it's time for the Just for Men Auto Stop Foolproof Stat. One of the most win streaks of 4+ games this year. Well, the Rays, Yankees, Dodgers, White Sox, and the Nationals. Just as you can count on the Rays getting hot as they have recently, you can count on Just for Men Auto Stop for foolproof results. Josh Tolley, the catcher, bats. Pitch is a strike over the inside part of the plate. Only 25 years old. Ground ball to third. Will Rhymes has it. His throw's on the money. 2 up and 2 down. It's been a nice evening here for Cobb. He got through a shaky first because of some poor defense behind him.
Yeah, other than that, his command has been outstanding. And when you're able to move the ball around the zone like he has, it just gives you so many options to get hitters out. Fastballs like that in on lefties. That split finger that got Jason Bay right there. Just everything opens up to you when you command the fastball with precision like Alex Cobb has done tonight to both sides of the plate. Really put hitters on the defensive.
And the pitch to Omar Quintanilla is down. A ball and no strikes. He played 3 seasons at the University of Texas. He was on the same team with Houston Street. 1-1 the count. There's J.P. Howell has that connection as well for the Rays. 2 balls and a strike. Quintanilla got to the big leagues in 2005 with the Rockies. And had a short stint with the Texas Rangers last year. And there's a base hit the other way. Into left. Jennings quickly corrals it. 2-out single. Quintanilla, who had grounded into a double play his first time, singles here with 2 outs in the 5th.
Now that was a split finger there by Alex Cobb that didn't have any depth to it. That ball stayed up in the zone, and you see the grip, and Quintanilla stays back on it. This ball stays up, no real finish, and he just hammers it into the hole.
Kirk Neuenhuis, the top of the order. Quintanilla back in at first. One to Neuenhuis.
Well, and you would expect here Quintanilla maybe to try to steal a bag here. 2 outs. You're down by a run. You've got the top of the order up. So even if you do get thrown out, you start right at the top next inning. Perfect opportunity for the Mets to send him.
Yeah, he has not stolen a base, has not attempted to steal this year. But the way they came out playing, there's a throw to first. He's back in. The way the Mets started this game, as aggressive as they were, you certainly wouldn't be surprised. You're a little surprised if they don't.
Yeah, I mean, they came out like gangbusters. Really challenged the Rays, challenged Alex Cobb and Jose Molina. You would figure with 2 outs, this would be the time to go.
We'll take the count to 1-2. It's lined up the left side. That's going to be fair. A bounce back to Jennings. Quintanilla winds up at third on the double by Neuenhuis. So a double up the left field line gives the New York center fielder a 2-for-3 night.
That ball almost was by Neuenhuis. Fastball up in the zone after seeing those splits, and you see just able to get the bat head to the baseball and kept it fair by a couple of feet down into the corner. But Desmond Jennings gets to that ball quickly, keeps Quintanilla at third. Jim Hickey's now going to stroll to the mound here, talk to Alex Cobb, and the one thing that you're thinking if you're Alex Cobb is, listen, okay, a 2-out hit to Quintanilla, a double down the line, but bottom line is, if I just can regroup here, make a couple of quality pitches, and retire Valdespin, nothing hurt.
Yeah, they have Jordani Valdespin up, who tends to be an aggressive hitter. That's the way he plays the game. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run in the first, and went out on a fly ball to left in the third. The Rays continue this little confab on the mound.
Yeah, it's interesting because they know. I mean, they've gone over Valdespin. They know he's aggressive. So you already know that going in. You know that there's 2 outs. It almost reeks of either something on defense or maybe changing up of the signs. I don't know what you would need a reminder for then here in the 5th inning to a pitcher who's already faced him twice.
Neuenhuis with a double. 34 straight game the Mets have produced at least 1 double. First pitch is outside to Valdespin. Just a 1-run ball game, and the Mets have 2 men in scoring position here in the 5th. And now Molina's going to have another get together with Cobb. A 1-ball, no strike count. Down and in. 2 balls, no strikes. That's a strike. A fastball in there. And there's a base hit. Dropping into center field. It's going to score both runs. And New York will take a 3-2 lead. He didn't hit it hard. A fastball, and Valdespin drives in 2 runs to make it 3-2 New York.
Well, you're right, Dwayne. He didn't hit it hard, but the other thing that he did was try not to do too much with it. That ball was running, trying to get that ball in. Alex Cobb, he just stays inside of it, is able to get the bat to it. Look, he's right on top of the plate and able to pull the hands through and just get enough of it to kind of slice that ball out there into left center field. And that's going to play 2 runs. 3 straight hits here with 2 outs in the 5th.
Here's David Wright chopping one down to third. Rhymes had to wait on it, but has plenty of time to retire the side with a throw to first. Mets score 2, and they take the lead 3-2 mid-5.
Top of the 5th.
And we go to the bottom of the 5th. B.J. Upton takes the pitch inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Did you see how quickly I pulled that cord to eject?
It was very smooth.
Was it?
Yes. Foul ball back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Because on this end, it felt extremely awkward.
Oh, no.
I knew I was about to infringe.
No, I was on the outside looking in. Smooth. The foul ball back this way. And the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Blue Jays are on the board. 3-2 Washington now. Jose Bautista has hit his 18th home run, a 2-run shot. Foul ball back. Breaking ball drops too low. That one at 66. BJ lifts it up the right side, twisting toward the bullpen. A nice grab down there protecting Joel Peralta. It's one of the few times you'll see Peralta actually sitting in the bullpen and not up and throwing.
Well, he knows it's just a matter of time.
Hot shot down to third, grabbed nicely by Wright, and the throw to first in time.
You know, that's what you're talking about with David Wright. That was a hard hit ball by B.J. Upton, and David Wright made it look easy. To his left, throwing that hand out there.
He's always had those soft hands, and we saw it right there and how quick they are.
Well, here it is. This ball was centered by B.J. Look at that. Just a step. Smooth.
Believe me, it's not that easy. But he made it look very simple. The pitch is high to Matt Joyce. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, unless you're down on that field, you have no appreciation for how hard that ball was hit. Those one hop line drive shots, they're on you right now.
1 ball, 1 strike. You know, the farther away you get, the easier it looks. But if you're right down there, you understand it's not that easy.
Some of the best advice I was ever given.
Ground ball, that's headed into center field, a base hit for Joyce.
I can remember sitting in a rain delay. I played for the Indians with Mike Hargrove, and we were talking about the game of baseball, and he said, you know, it's funny, the further away from the game you get, the easier it looks. He talked about sitting in the dugout, ball gets hit in the gap, you see everybody as the cutoff man is lining up where everybody should be. You sit in the stands, the pitches don't look as hard as they do from on the field. He said, you watch a game on TV, it looks like a piece of cake. It looks like a piece of cake. He said, however, when you're out there, you realize the speed of the game. Different animal.
Hideki Matsui. And the pitch to him is a strike. That's 75. That's the hard curveball. The slow curve is 66. And the fastball with something extra on it is 86. And the average is about 83 or 84.
Well, that's what he has working for him. He's below hitting speed from an odd angle with deception. And that's what makes him effective.
Matsui drove in a run with a liner off the right field wall his first time. The pitch is down, the breaking pitch. Jeremy Hefner is throwing in the bullpen. Two and one. Runner goes and stops, and the pitch skied to center. Neuenhuis is there for this one. He'll make the catch. And back to first goes Matt Joyce.
Well, in tonight's game and all season long, Tires Plus will donate $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida.
Here's Will Rhymes. And a ground ball sharply hit, but right there is Murphy with the pickup. That takes care of Rhymes, and the Rays are through 5, and the Mets lead the Rays 3-2. hit the ground ball and got away from the Rays shortstop Elliott Johnson, producing a run. Hideki Matsui singled home a run at the bottom of the first for the Rays, and the sacrifice fly to center by Will Rhymes gave the Rays a 2-1 lead until the fifth, when Jordani Valdespin singled into center field, chasing home 2 New York runners. And at the end of 5, the Mets have a 3-2 lead on the Rays as Alex Cobb goes back to the mound to begin work here in the 6th inning. Lucas Duda, who was grounded out and flied out, 0 for 2, and the first pitch was a breaking ball that stayed up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Yankees batting in the 7th, trailing Atlanta 3-0. Ground ball to first. Nice backhand pickup by Pena. High toss, but Cobb managed to grab it and find the bag with his feet. And so Duda's out of there. 1 away. Let's check in with Laura McKeeman now. Laura?
Thanks, Dwayne, and we want everyone to log on to foxsportsflorida.com. Check out our Game Connect section. That's where you can find your stats, your scores, everything you need. And, of course, Twitter. Follow us. It's @SunSportsRays. Jeff Keppinger was very glad to get back to the Trop. He tweeted about it, saying he's excited to see all of his friends on this Rays team. Joe Maddon saying before the game that he thinks he's close to taking BP. We might see that in the next couple of days. Of course, the Rays will be glad to have him back, especially against left-handed pitching. Dwayne?
Yeah, he's sort of been the secret weapon this year for the Rays. A little more of an offensive impact than some people might think, and they have missed his right-handed bat. 1-0 the count now to Daniel Murphy. The chopper up the right side. That's foul. 0-2. And still, while they think they're getting closer, but nothing definitive on Longoria as to what the step-by-step plan will be to get him back and exactly when. Foul out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. In fact, Todd Callis is working on getting more information on the Longoria situation over the next inning or so. Keppinger's been out with the broken toe on his right foot, the big toe. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, we often talk about the Rays training staff, how cautious they are, how they want to make sure that they have crossed all the T's, dotted all the I's before they send someone back onto the field.
Yeah, it's a long-term point of view they have that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Well, especially when you're talking about a player like Evan Longoria with the injury that he had, which was the hamstring. You do not want to mess around with the hamstring, try to come back too soon.
That's ball 3, 3-2 now, the count to Murphy.
You know, with all the movement out there, the running the bases every day, I mean, the hamstring always involved, and if that's something that you come back too soon from, you tweak it again, you miss even more time usually.
And Murphy's out on strikes. 3rd time. Another changeup. So that's out number 2 here in the 6th. Here's Ike Davis. Davis had a bunt single in the 2nd. Cobb has had only 2 3-ball counts tonight. He went 3-2 just now to get Murphy, and he went 3-2 in the 4th inning against Ike Davis and got him looking. 1-0 the count. Falls behind, 2-0. It'll be the Rays and the Mets tomorrow night. Mets in for 3. Then Miami over the weekend. The pitch is low, so back-to-back 3-ball counts here, 3-0. to Ike Davis. There's a strike. The Mets have gotten 5 innings, and Young's pitch count is in the mid-90s. And there's action. John Roush in the bullpen now for New York. And there's ball 4. Davis draws the walk, first given up by Alex Cobb. Well, there's only one place to spend Father's Day this year. That would be at Tropicana Field for Papapalooza. 4 shows for the price of 1. The Rays play the Marlins, and then Gretchen Wilson 3 doors down, and ZZ Top hit the stage. For tickets, visit RaysBaseball.com. Now Jason Bay. And the pitch is a strike to Bay. Boston has taken a 2-0 lead over the Marlins. That game has moved on to the bottom of the 7th. Swing and a foul ball. Kelly Shopik had an RBI double in that game, and Mike Aviles with an RBI single to give Boston the lead. The 0-2 is just a bit outside 1-2. Tomorrow's game, another 7:10 first pitch. We'll be with you at 6:30. And don't forget, Thursday's a day game. That's a 1:10 start. Jeremy Hellickson against Johan Santana. Into the dirt. It bounces by Molina, and down to second base goes Davis.
Yeah, Jose Molina with a do-or-die swipe at that split, and it went right over the top of him. Here it is. This ball well short of the target, and just a backhand attempt right over the right shoulder. Not exactly how you would draw it up.
So it's a 2-2 count to Jason Bay. And he pops it up to the right side. Pena takes care of it. So a 2-out walk leads to nothing. A man left. Bottom of the 6th coming. 3-2 New York.
Joe Madden before the game addressed the media to update the media on the latest with the Rays third baseman.
He's still not 100% ready to be there. We're seeing gradual and steady improvement. Today's what? Monday. He's going to run again Tuesday. It's Tuesday. He's going to run again on Thursday, and then make that solid determination after the run. We have a day game, but he'll run early in the morning. But again, nice, steady progress. Not quite there yet.
There's the latest on Longoria, guys.
Todd, thank you very much. Jose Molina pops up on the first pitch here in the bottom of the sixth, handled by Davis. So that's the first out. There's Evan Longoria earlier in the day.
Yeah, maybe they're waiting because he's turning into a switch hitter. Left-handed
that might be
there.
it, huh?
You never know.
On this team, they value flexibility.
Getting the final touches and perfecting the left-handed swing, and then we get the unveiling.
Yep. Well, you've got quite a scoop if that happens.
I doubt it.
1-1. Yeah, you're probably better off without that scoop, because then people would give you that nickname. You'd be Scoop Anderson.
Yeah.
Nah.
No.
Not going to work.
Nope. Don't want it to work.
No. The 1-2. And it's popped up, foul. Out of play. Just get him healthy and back in the lineup. That's it. 100 pitches now for Chris Young. Well, he hasn't thrown very hard tonight, but he's limited the Rays to just 2 runs. Johnson hits it on the ground, backhanded by Murphy. Wide throw to first. And that goes to the front of the dugout, backed up by the catcher. Josh Tolley down there. So Johnson is aboard on a base hit.
Now you force Daniel Murphy up the middle to his right. He's got to make a long throw against his body, try to get a hustling Elliott Johnson. Elliott was going to beat that regardless. Just throw wide, and that's fortunate. Didn't bound into the Rays dugout.
Yeah, it would have been better off just forgetting about trying to make a throw on that. That is one of the things about interleague play. As much as you try to update your team on the opposing team, you don't see them enough. And so Murphy, in that case, was going to try to make that play regardless of who was running. With Johnson, there's no chance to throw him out.
And Johnson, on that pickoff attempt right there, was about to try to steal second base. Had a big lunge.
And a move to first. He's back in.
Well, he's out there testing the boundaries, and we've seen Elliott do this before. He's out there timing up the pitcher, seeing what kind of jump that he can get, and then he'll be gone.
And the pitch out, and nothing doing right there. Sean Rodriguez, the hitter. Well, the New York bench seeing the same thing we're seeing, and they had gotten the attention of Tolley just prior to that pitch and then called for the pitch out. There he goes. Pitch is high, and the throw is in time. He is caught trying to steal. Elliott Johnson cut down. Murphy put the tag on him.
2 things at play there. First of all, Chris Young goes to a slide step, and then Tolley with the low throw, that ball skipping in there at second base. Easy pitch to handle. Low throw, skips off the turf, and right there a bang call at second base. Boy, it looked like it almost was at the same time. Foot to the bag, tag to the leg.
Three 3-0 the count to Sean Rodriguez. There's a strike. 3-1. And ball 4. The Rays have a base runner. comes with 2 outs, and Terry Collins pops out of the dugout. He's going to go to the bullpen. So over 100 pitches here for Young tonight. He's limited the Rays to 2 runs, 9 hits, and will leave with a runner at first. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Metro PCS Wireless for All. Columbia Pictures movie That's My Boy, starring Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg, in theaters June 15th. And by your Bay Area Acura dealers. Well, these New York pitchers just keep getting bigger. Chris Young out. He was 6'10". John Roush in. He's 6'11". And a move to first. Sean Rodriguez, the runner over there, with 2 outs. 5 2/3 and 106 pitches for Chris Young. And Roush is on. Pitch outside and low. Slider starting Jennings.
That'd be a tough rotation. You know, little Winter League basketball team. Here at Mets. 6'10", 6'11".
Which is popped up. Foul ball. That's right under it. He's got it. So the Rays leave a man. They've left at least one in every inning. They trail 3-2. miss the Rays annual broadcast auction. That'll be tomorrow, Wednesday the 13th. Fans will have a chance to bid on one-of-a-kind Rays experiences, including even a trip to the All-Star Game. Proceeds benefit the Rays Baseball Foundation and Tampa General Hospital's Children's Medical Center. Visit raysbaseball.com/broadcast auction for more details. Hitting lessons with Carlos Pena, pitching lessons with David Price. You can be a Rays executive for the day. That all-star package we mentioned, just to get started. Here's Josh Tolley lifting a high foul down the left side, and Jennings up against that low wall reaches in to make the catch. Desmond Jennings made the grab, and that fan very courteous, holding his cap for him.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, the fans stay out of Desmond Jennings' way, number one, but he does a nice job of hustling over there and getting to the wall, giving himself a chance then to make that play. Everybody stays out of the way. A couple of new friends to boot.
Nice job by Jennings. Everybody's okay, and they come away friends. Well, the first pitch into the New York shortstop, Homer Quintanilla. One strike to count to him. Oh, 2 now. Well, Jennings was calm, cool, and collected going after that difficult foul ball. A sure thing. That pitch is down. It's 1-2.
With or without the power strike?
Well, let's take a look and see.
Let's see. I'm going to say, okay, the catch, the lean in.
Jennings just rolls on over there.
Yeah. I'm saying with the power strike.
Okay. Swing and a miss. That is out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down here in the 7th inning. Another good job by Alex Cobb here tonight. Back around to the top of the order. It's Kirk Neuenhuis. He has a single and a double and a run scored. One ball, no strikes. Tim Burdack, the lefty. He's been around for a while. Two balls, no strikes. And a strike on the corner. It's 2-1. J.P. Howell loosening in the Rays bullpen. Pitch is down. 2-0. And ball 4. So a 2-out walk, and the Mets have a base runner here in the 7th. So Danny Valdespin's going to be the hitter now.
Well, here another situation in this ball game where you've got to be cognizant of the running game. Neuenhuis over there at first base, 4 for 6 in stolen bases this year. 2 outs again.
Quick move to first. Pretty close over there that time on Neuenhuis.
Well, Alex Cobb right here gets rid of that ball in a hurry. Carlos Pena with the quick tag. Neuenhuis just able to get that right hand back into the bag.
Three runs, 6 hits for the Mets, 2 runs, 9 hits for the Rays. The Mets scored their second and third runs of the night in the 5th after 2 men had been retired. The first pitch to Valdespin, fastball misses, 1-0. Cobb just a little over 100 pitches now. Down and in, 2-0. Valdespin scored a run in the first and drove in the 2 runs in the 5th inning. And now Jim Hickey heads to the mound.
Well, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th, and Alex Cobb's command that's been sterling all night long has deserted him. A walk to Neuenhuis, obviously paying him a lot of attention over at first base, and has fallen behind Valdespin now. Jim Hickey just trying to get him back on track and letting him know, hey, listen, let's remember priorities here. Let's get the hitter and get out of this inning. We got 2 outs.
Well, the Mets coming in. We dropped 6 of 7, 3 in a row. The Rays have won 4 in a row. Cobb trying to keep this a 1-run ball game. Big swing there on a fastball. Valdespin fouls it back.
Well, he's got the count in his favor, and he got a fastball that was out over the plate, and so he really cut it loose. Probably like to have a shot at this pitch back. You see that ball, they're trying to come in, and it stays out over the plate, middle away.
Runner takes off. The pitch is shot fair up the right side beyond the bullpen. Joyce over to make the barehanded pickup, and the run scores without a play. That makes it 4-2. Valdespin with another big 2-out hit. This one driving in the 4th run.
Well, it's a gamble to continue to come in like that late in the ball game. They come in again, and he just drops the head on it. And Neuenhuis with a full head of steam. You see him going on the pitch. This ball rocketed right up the first base line. Clearly fair over the bag. And with the head of steam and that ball hitting the short low ball out in right field, Neuenhuis scores easily.
So now David Wright will be walked intentionally. Lucas Duda is due next. So an intentional walk, this developing with 2 outs, as did their 2-run uprising in the 5th. And here comes Joe Madden. So the left-handed bat is due. J.P. Howell is up in the bullpen, and the Rays are going to make a call to the bullpen. Brought to you by Metro PCS, wireless for all.
to retransmit it in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Well, that's it for Alex Cobb. 6 2/3, 109 pitches. He departs with runners at first and second. Gives way to J.P. Howell.
J.P. on for the 22nd time. 17 2/3 innings of work.
Right at first, Valdespin at second. Lucas Duda up there. The pitch outside, 1-0. J.P. Howell. There's Badenhop now starting to loosen in the bullpen. Howell worked Thursday in the series against the Yankees. 2/3 of an inning. 2-0. The curveball away from Duda. Howell trying to hold the Mets right where they are and give the Rays bats a chance here in the back third of this game against the New York bullpen. There's a strike. 2-1, and the Mets have had issues with that bullpen. Their starters pretty representative at 3.66, but the bullpen ERA is over 5.5.
Well, they have the worst bullpen ERA in the major leagues, so the Rays should have some opportunities here in the last third of the game.
There's a strike. 2-2.
Boy, a lot of late action on that pitch from J.P. Howell. The fastball at 86. Boy, that thing sink right back across the plate.
Tried to get that one to do the same. Now it's 3-2.
That was a really good idea. Why not? You're getting that kind of movement. Started off the plate, try to take it right to the outside corner.
Now full count, 2 outs, runners first and second. They'll be off with the pitch. There they go, and the pitch is nubbed up the third base side. Rhymes with the pickup and the throw. That's not in time, and the bases are going to be loaded. Well, the big man Duda had the big cut on that one and nubbed it to the third base side, and has himself an infield hit, and the bases are filled.
Yeah, first of all, you're worried about Duda and his power. And then he takes a full swing right there and catches that ball right off the end of the bat. I mean, there's just no way to defend this. Toe tap, the big swing, and right off the end, straight down, and it kicks out into fair territory right up the line.
Rhymes did everything he could. Barehand pick up and throw, but not in time. So the bases are loaded for Daniel Murphy. Murphy struck out 3 times against Cobb, who got him on the changeup every time. Now against J.P. Howell. The pitch is outside. The left-hander Tim Burdick has been up a long time in the bullpen. As the Mets got this started with 2 outs, they've scored a run and now have loaded the bases. And a little looper into short center, out of the reach of Johnson. Well, the speed scores. Wright crosses the plate. Duda goes to third on the looping single. Murphy drives in 2 more. Suddenly, with 2 outs, the Mets have a 4-run lead, 6-2.
And those last 2 hits off the end for Duda, and then there's the pitch to Murphy. This ball gets in on him, and he pushes it out there into center field. Elliott Johnson giving it every bit of effort he could to try to get to that ball. Not able to. Drops into center field. Mets running with 2 outs. Score 2 more easily.
There's Ike Davis. He fouls it. Strike 1. A walk, a double, intentional walk, the infield hit, and the blooping single into center. And the Mets have made it a big inning. They put up 3 in the 7th. And the pitch is down. All of these runs charged to Cobb, which makes this outing appear much worse than it was. 6 2/3, 6 runs, 5 earned.
No, and all of it here in the 7th inning with 2 outs.
Pitch is high. Yeah, 5 of the 6 runs coming with 2 outs, and the other run unearned. 2 errors committed in the first inning. And the count is 3-1. Davis, the 8th man to come to the plate. Jason Bay is on deck. Bay made the last out in the 6th inning. That's a strike. So the count is full. And the 3-2 with Murphy breaking, and it's foul. Yankees put up 6 in the 8th in Atlanta to take a 6-4 lead in that game. And the 3-2. Swing and a long one to right. That ball is out of here. 3-2 pitch. A fastball. And Ike Davis hits a 3-run home run. That will make it 9-2. His 6th home run of the year. Wasn't any question about that when he made contact.
Well, Ike Davis has power. Watch this pitch move right back into the swing. That was the problem. We talked about J.P. Howell and the late movement he's getting on his pitches. Well, this moved right to the barrel.
So the Mets have opened the lead with a 6-run 7th, coming with 2 outs. And here's Bay taking a pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes. Nine runs, 10 hits for New York. Bay out in front of the changeup, and the count is 1-1. ball, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. Full count now. The Yankees continue to hit in the 8th inning. Ground ball to third. Bay is out, third to first. The Mets send 9 men to the plate. They score 6 and lead 9-2.
Seventh inning, time for our text poll question of the evening. Who is your favorite Met of all time? TB1, Tom Seaver. TB2, the lefty out of the bullpen, John Franco. TB3, Jerry Koosman. TB4, that guy, Keith Hernandez, working the Mets TV with Gary Cohen. TB5, Doc Gooden. TB6, Darryl Strawberry. Those are your 6 choices. Text your votes to 78979. Standard message and data rates apply. We'll have the results in our Rays Live postgame presented by Checkers, guys.
There you go. Well, Doc Gooden might get some votes here in this market. We'll see. Tim Burdack is the new pitcher for the New York Mets, the veteran lefty.
He comes on for his team-leading 35th appearance. 2-0 record, 3.78 earned run average. Those 34 appearances, just 16 2/3 innings.
And the first pitch to Carlos Pena is low and outside. Well, this is a very big hill for the Rays right now. Cesar Ramos gets up in the bullpen. The Mets, with 2 men out, score 6 in the top of the 7th.
Well, this is where, as a Rays hitter, you're thinking to yourself, just one hitter after another, quality at bat. This is a New York bullpen, among the worst in the major leagues. Start small.
And Carlos held up in time. The count is 3-0. In that Yankee 8th inning in Atlanta, Alex Rodriguez hit a grand slam. Nick Swisher hit a homer. And that grand slam will tie Rodriguez with Lou Gehrig for the all-time Grand Slam total of 23. That made that a 6-4 game. The Yankees leading Atlanta. And that's all they got in the 8th. 6. Braves batting in the bottom half of the 8th now. And the count on Pena goes full, 3-2. Foul ball. He got just a little piece of it. Upton next, and then Joyce. Three-two, and that's going to be high for ball 4. So Pena opens the home half of the 7th with a walk. Well, let's go to Atlanta and take a look. Courtesy of Fox Sports South. The home run off the lefty, Johnny Venters, a grand slam for Alex Rodriguez to tie Lou Gehrig for the all-time grand slam total of 23. B.J. Upton takes the pitch down. 1 ball and no strikes. B.J. lifts a fly ball to center. Neuenhuis is there, tracks this one and makes the catch. So that gives Upton 2 out of 4 and the first out in the 7th inning. Well, Chris Young started. Pitched 5 2/3. John Roush came on with a man on and pitched a third of an inning. 2 runs charged to Young, nothing to Roush. 2 of the 5 tallest pitchers in the major leagues pitching in this game. Joyce fouls it back. Young started at 6'10", Roush 6'11". Because Randy Johnson was 6'10", so was Eric Hillman, who also pitched for the Mets at 6'10", and Mark Hendrickson was the Rays' tallest pitcher at 6'9". Two strikes the count. Way high. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Those would be the 5 tallest pitchers in the major leagues, those guys. Luke Van Mill is at AA in the Indians organization. He'd been with the Angels and with the Twins at one time. He's 7'1". He's in the minor leagues. A little tap out at second base on the tag. Pena out. Joyce safe at first. So the shortstop Quintanilla got the tag on Pena, unassisted, for out number 2.
Well, he had to cross over to the second base side of the bag, and the time he retreated to get Pena, just took too much time to be able to double up Joyce right there.
Now Hideki Matsui against the lefty. Pitch is upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Burdick, 38 years old. He was in 72 games last year. Matsui up in the count now. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, he's well on his way once again this year with 35th appearance already
And the count goes to 3-0. The pitch is high. So Matsui goes to first. Joyce up to second base. Will Rhymes do? But Drew Sutton has a bat. He will pinch hit here. Sutton will hit for Rhymes. Burdack out there, and now Terry Collins comes out of the New York dugout. He's had Miguel Batista, the veteran right-hander, out there, and he's going to get the call. Pitching change, call to the bullpen, brought to you by Metro PCS, wireless for all. Log on to TampaBay.com. From the diamond to the clubhouse, we bring you the in-depth news, stories, and scores 24 hours a day, only at TampaBay.com, powered by the Tampa Bay Times. Miguel Batista, number 47. He could be wearing his age. He's only 41, however, and he makes this appearance. Pitcher number 4 for New York. That's a strike to Drew Sutton.
Well, on for the 17th time. He's also made 4 starts in those 16 appearances. In fact, I mean, this New York Mets ball club, they've had 9 different pitchers make a start for them already.
So foul ball out of play. Well, Batista has been with the Pirates and the Marlins and the Cubs and the Expos, the Royals, the Diamondbacks, the Blue Jays, the Mariners, the Nationals, the Cardinals, and the Mets. And strike 3 call. Sutton caught looking. Rays leave 2. We go to the 8th. 9-2 New York. show benefiting the Children's Dream Fund. That's June 14th. Players will walk the runway and model this season's newest fashions. Get your tickets at childrensdreamfund.org. Cesar Ramos is the new pitcher as we go to the 8th. Josh Tolley, the catcher here, will lead off. He is 1 for 3. Drew Sutton stays on to play third base. And the pitch is inside to Tolley, 1-0.
Well, Cesar Ramos, the last couple of times that he's thrown for the Rays out of that bullpen, has been very sharp. Seen some really nice things out of him with his fastball angle. The curveball's been very good.
Ground ball to second. Sean Rodriguez takes care of that. Tolley is retired. 1 away.
Shortstop, Omar Quintanilla.
Omar Quintanilla. He singled and scored in the 5th. 1 for 3. Additionally, for the A-Rod Grand Slam, it also gives him 1,922 runs batted in, which ties him for 8th on the all-time RBI list with Jimmy Fox. One ball, no strikes. This one headed toward left center field. Cut off by Upton, a big turn, and BJ's going to hold him to a single.
How about that? Quintanilla going down and picking that ball out of the bottom of the strike zone and driving it out there to left center field, and BJ Upton gets to it. Quick release. This ball down and in. Just drop the bat head, lace that ball out there, but watch BJ go get it and get it back in a hurry. The strong, accurate throw.
Kirk Neuenhuis takes the pitch in there for a strike. Neuenhuis has been on base 3 times, has scored 2 runs. He doubled and scored in the 5th, walked and scored in the 7th. 1-1. 8 of the 9 runs came with 2 outs for New York tonight. Two balls and a strike. Chopper headed toward the middle into center for a base hit. It'll be first and third with 1 out. Neuenhuis is on base with his 3rd hit, on for the 4th time. Quintanilla winds up at 3rd.
Well, the Mets just continue to hit. Neuenhuis going right back up the middle. This pitch middle of the plate and down. He gets it by the glove of Ramos. Out into center field. And Dwayne, you talked about 8 out of the 9 runs with 2 outs. What's most disconcerting, especially when you look at the 5th and the 7th, it wasn't like it was 2 outs with 2 or 3 guys, bases loaded, 2 guys on. You're talking about 2 outs and nobody on.
That's right.
3 straight hits in the 5th netted the Mets 2 runs, and then of course the big blowout in the 7th.
It was Valdespin, and he's had a big part of what has gone on. Oh, 2 now. driven in 3 runs and has scored 2. Tracks this one all the way. Fastball down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he starts to go after that one, a breaking ball. Ball 2.
We got a good look at that break. Following all the way down, able to hold up.
And now we have a full count. Goes from 0-2 to 3-2 now. David Wright is on deck. Rays have been out hit 12-9. And a chopper foul. Washington has beaten Toronto. And the Nationals are now 37-23. 4-2 Washington over Toronto, and Boston leads Miami 2-1 in the bottom of the 9th at Miami. Broken bat, ground ball first base. 1 play, and that's at first. The run scores. The other runner, Neuenhuis, moves into second base. Valdespin picks up his 4th run batted in as he drives home Quintanilla. So now it's 10-2. Same 2 teams tomorrow night, and a great pitching matchup. David Price against R.A. Dickey. Price 8-3 and Dickey 9-1. We'll have it beginning at 6:30 in high definition on Sun Sports.
Boy, that right there was the pitch of the game. That last matchup with CC Sabathia, David Price, in that epic showdown with Alex Rodriguez. Bases loaded. 11 pitch at bat. Contrasting styles tomorrow night.
David Wright. Pitch is high. So the Mets have scored off all 3 Rays pitchers. There is R.A. Dickey. Featuring that knuckleball. And not a lot else.
And he throws that knuckleball hard. It doesn't float in there. I mean, for a knuckleball pitcher, he puts some velo on it.
So pop foul headed into the stands. Well, it's not what you put on that knuckleball, it's what you take off of it.
The ball dancing around. Changing speeds on it. I mean, even if just playing catch, some of these guys.
Pitch inside. 2 balls and a strike.
You're going to have to watch him closely tomorrow night. See what. Take a little on, take some off. Make it dance. Slide.
Not an easy pitch to hit or catch, but it's working out for Dickey, who is 9-1. Run home with a runner at second. Ground ball back at third. Knocked down by Sutton as the ball rolls into foul territory. Neuenhuis goes to third. So David Wright picks up the 3rd New York hit of this inning.
This ball off the bat of David Wright hit hard, and Drew Sutton just that close to being able to grab that baseball off the thumb and top of the glove.
Here's Lucas Duda. He chops it foul. And the breaking ball stays up. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's a 10-2 ball game here in the 8th. And the pitch is fouled. It's 1-2. Cesar Ramos to the plate, and he just missed with a fastball. 2-2. See how close this pitch was.
It looked pretty good. And we've seen Paul Schreiber tonight looking to call strikes.
It's close enough in a 10-2 game.
You would think.
And a base hit, driven into right. That's going to score another run. Wright stops at second. Duda picks up his first run batted in, his 37th of the year. And it's 11-2 New York.
Well, the Mets just continue to add on, swing hot bats. Heated up in the 7th, not slowing down here in the 8th. This ball just catching too much plate, and Duda stays right on it and just shoots the gap.
Daniel Murphy. And a liner into center. Upton is there to catch it, and that retires the side. New York adds 2 more, and they lead 11-2.
Eleven to 2. Coming up on Rays Live, the postgame presented by Checkers, Todd and Orestes. They will anchor the coverage from their center field perch. You'll be listening in on Joe Madden in his press conference. Todd Callis will be gathering interviews from the clubhouse. And Dwayne and I will try to make sense of this ball game from up the booth.
Get a lot of 2-out runs. Melvin Ramirez will be the new pitcher. He is pitcher number 5.
Oh, and we know that Todd Callis is talented, but it's going to be Laura McKeeman in the clubhouse. Todd can't be 2 places at once. My apologies.
Yeah, but if anyone could be, it would be Todd. So it's not as far-fetched as you might think. Jose Molina takes the pitch for a strike. He shoots it foul into the seats. 0-2. Melvin Ramirez out of the Dominican Republic. Pitch is high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pretty good velocity on that miss right there. Mid-90s. And a little ground ball right side from short right field. The pick up and throw by Murphy. Molina's out of there.
Man, from the looks of things, pretty good stuff there. You saw the fastball in the mid-90s. That was a nice little slider there. Down and away from Molina. Power arm coming out of this Mets bullpen.
Johnson fouls it back. That's a strike. One and one. And a strike at the knees makes it 1-2. Buchholz got the win for Boston over Miami. So he is 7-2. Burley the loser, 5-7. Too low to Elliott Johnson. Well, things did not start well with the Rays in this game. The Mets took the game to them in the first, and the Rays made a couple errors. The Mets scored an unearned run in that inning, and they piled on here in the late stages of the game. Quintanilla up with this one. Elliott Johnson is out, short to first.
And I think there were some opportunities that the Rays had early on to score more runs. They had a 2-1 lead. Had that situation obviously with the bases loaded and Matsui going off the wall and right. They were able to just score 1 run. Had a couple other opportunities in subsequent innings with runners on base. Not able to come up with a big hit. The Mets hung around, and then exploded late.
John Rodriguez looks at a fastball for a strike. John trying to time up that fastball at 95 and fouls it straight back.
Now the timing had better be quick. I mean, Ramirez, not a big leg kick. He just comes set, picks that foot up, and it's coming with some velo.
And a popper to the right side. Foul ball, and that's handled by Murphy. The Rays are up and down 1-2-3. We go to the 9th. 11-2 New York. It's our best Sierra ever. By Checkers, feast on. By Sagicor, plan a bright financial future today at SagicorLifeUSA.com. And by Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers. On to the ninth. Cesar Ramos, who was touched for a couple runs in the eighth inning, will face Ike Davis. Davis fouls it out of play. The Mets first baseman got a big hit in the seventh inning, a 3-run home run, his 6th home run of the year. He came into the game hitting 167. The 0-1. It's low, 1-1. He bunted his way on back in the second against the shift, walked in the sixth, hit the home run in the seventh. There's Frank Francisco down in the New York bullpen. Ground ball right side. Sean Rodriguez makes the play to Carlos Pena, and that's out number 1. Yankees have won, Boston won, and Toronto has lost. The Orioles have a lead at home over Pittsburgh. That's 8-4 in the bottom of the 8th at Baltimore. Here's Jason Bay. Fouls it back, strike 1. Bay is the only spot in this lineup without a hit tonight. And the only spot not to have reached base then in one way or another, but everybody else has at least a hit. 14 New York hits in this game. 1-1 the count. Bay hit a fly ball to left in the second, struck out, popped out to first, and then went out third to first. Facing Ramos here in the ninth. The ground ball to first. Carlos Pena makes the play. 2 away.
Well, this July, don't miss the biggest event of the summer as baseball's greatest stars battle for home field advantage in the Fall Classic. The road to the World Series begins with the 2012 MLB All-Star Game Tuesday, July 10th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific on Fox.
Here's the catcher, Josh Tolley. And he takes a strike. Alex Cobb charged with 6 runs, 5 earned. J.P. Howe 3. And the other 2 to Ramos. It's wide. Now 1-1. Jordany Valdespin has 4 runs batted in tonight for the Mets. He had 6 runs batted in total coming into this game. 4 tonight. Foul back. It's 1-2. Quintanilla is on deck. Pitcher fastball wide. It's 2-2. Chopper back to the mound. Ramos with a toss to Pena. 1-2-3 go the Mets. Bottom of the ninth coming. 11-2 New York. Rays down 11-2. The Mets control of this game late. They've out hit the Rays 14-9. The Rays have left 10 men on. They've left men on base in every inning tonight except the 8th. So it's not as if they didn't have some opportunities. And Frank Francisco is pitcher number 6 for Terry Collins.
Well, the closer, 15 out of 18 in saves, has not worked since the 7th. Coming into.
And the first pitch to Jennings. Desmond lifts it into center. Caught out there by Newman Heiss. That is out number 1 in the 9th.
Now, this is one of those games where some opportunities early that you let slide by. You talked about the number of base runners left on base. A couple of big 2-out, nobody on rallies by the Mets. And this ends like this. You just chalk it up and be glad you have David Price going for you tomorrow night.
Yeah, it'll be a great matchup. Price against Dickey. Here's Carlos Pena. Carlos, after the first pitch, fouls it back. That's a strike. David Price will be after his 9th win. He is 8-3, and R.A. Dickey is 9-1 for New York. It's a 7:10 first pitch, and our pregame coverage begins at 6:30. By the way, in that New York Yankee win over Atlanta, CC Sabathia got his 8th win, so he, like Price, is now 8-3. Pena takes a fastball too low. 1-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Price will be making his first career start against the Mets tomorrow. Well, the count to Carlos goes to 2-2.
Well, that's the good hard split that's featured by Frank Francisco.
And the count is full. Lifted down the left side, foul with the shift on, a long run. Wright is there, though, down in the bullpen, and he makes the catch. Well, I'll tell you, staying healthy has been an issue for him, but he looks healthy tonight.
Now, the amount of ground that he covered right there, had to run a long way, not an easy angle. You see him playing basically shortstop shaded up the middle. Look how far he's got to go and keep track of that baseball and make the catch.
And here is B.J. Upton, sending a fly ball to center. Newman Heiss makes the catch, and the Rays go down meekly here in the 9th. 3 up and 3 down. It's an 11-2 final. The Rays, who had won 4 straight coming into this one, drop it. Young will get the win. He's 1-0. Cobb, the loser, 2-3. 3 hours and 18 minutes time of the game before 17,334. With you tomorrow night, 6:30, game 2 of this series. Rays Live, the post game presented by Checkers, comes your way next. For Brian Anderson and Todd Callis, Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast. If not, the outcome. New York over the Rays 11-2. See you next on Rays Live, the post game.